We're meant to have a trilogy. Wilder versus Fury 3. Some people don't want to see that. Some people want to see it. What are your guys' take on that fight?
You know, I think, and I think the mood has kind of changed a little bit with that. And here's the reason why. When you was first told the fight was going to happen in July, a lot of people felt that was too early for Deontay Wilder. He had got beaten the fuck up. And yes, I'll say it. He got beat the fuck up. I don't care who gets mad at me about that. It happened. Deontay Wilder has to understand that you got beat. That's the only way you're going to get better if you're going to go into a trilogy. So he got beat up, and people just really felt like July was too soon for him to come back. But now with this long time off, he's had time to rest. Hopefully he brings somebody new into the camp. I was thinking maybe like a Buddy McGirt, because I like what I saw what Buddy McGirt did with Kovalev after their later Alvarez fight. He took him back to the basics. That's what Wilder's going to need. He's going to need somebody that's going to tell him, stop just depending on your right hand. It's not going to work against an elite level fighter like another strong-minded fighter like we saw in Tyson Fury. So your power is not going to bail you out here. Even a Teddy Atlas even be good, because Teddy Atlas had, always doubted Deontay Wilder. So he's going to need that kick-ass type of coach that's going to, keep that foot in his behind and not be like, oh, you good, you do. No, you did this wrong, do it again. So he's going to need that type of training. And I definitely think he's going to have to go back and watch tape and be set down and understood where you went wrong and what you can do to do better. Because Tyson Fury showed us, and I've been telling guys this forever, Tyson Fury ring IQ is off the chain. If I was to name the top 3 fighters with the highest ring IQ in boxing, would be Tyson Fury, Terence Crawford, and Vasyl Lomachenko. So I think that he's going to need that. So it adds some, now I think because of the long time and because Fury's been laid off, and then there is that attraction about Fury, like what he did after Klitschko. He won, and then he kind of dropped off. Maybe that'll happen here. Who knows? So you have that allure. So that would be I think people are more interested in it now. Personally, I would like to see Wilder, if he takes on a new trainer, have another fight so we can see the new twos. Kind of like Sean Porter. Remember when Sean Porter fought Ugas, he tried something new out, then it worked better when he fought Earl Spence. So I could see that trilogy still being exciting. But at the end, for me, I think the fight, if we're going to look at the big boys, because people break out the money for the big boys, whoever wins between Fury and Wilder, whoever wins between Pulev and AJ, we need Undisputed, man. We need it.
Hey, wait a goddamn minute. Wait a minute. Superman coming to the rescue. Wait a goddamn minute. Nah, my bro needs his shot. I hear what you're saying, but my bro, you know what? He's been waiting a long time, man. This WBC situation is a major calamity. And he's been waiting a long time. I know a lot of the world do want to see the unification match with those big boys, but Dillian deserves his shot at the title also, and I'd be kind of sit up here to pretend that that's not really a big relevant point. I'll just echo what you're saying. I think it's similar thing with the fight for me. I think now that the time, like the initial, I was in Vegas, I was down there, and I thought the same thing. What is the point of a trilogy? Now that he has extra time, I feel, and obviously people are missing boxing now more than ever. You know what I mean? So people, regardless what fights come on, everyone's going to be chomping at the box to see action, be at the shows, and just relive it after being on lockdown and seeing the world change as we all know it. You know what I mean? Back to what you're saying about him. I was saying the same thing. Like, I believe he needs someone in there that will kick his ass and none of this yes man stuff, and let him do what he wants to do. Because I think he's become complacent somewhat because of the right hand, and the team has come complacent because obviously he's been winning and dominating so much. They're forgetting about the fundamentals. They don't want to be training him on, his footwork. He's back to basics with the jab and trying to set stuff up properly and being tidy. In his unorthodox style, he still has skills to a degree, because you can't just go in there and say, oh, he only had the right hand, that's why he's won, because he's won the fights. And you know what I mean? And in the world of boxing, at the same time, I know that he's picked the fights. You still got to go and beat who's in front of you. We've had people over the years, and no one's gone on and done what Deontay Wilder's done and had like 39-0 or certain knockouts and 40, like all that crazy record he had, whatever it was, 41 with 40 knockouts, whatever it is. So no one's really done that. So there has to be a degree of skill in the madness. in terms of what he's doing. His jab's actually not a bad jab when he uses it, but he's just a little bit all over the place in what he does, and he makes up of it because of that right hand. Like he said, he needs a couple of seconds to get it right, and you need to be right for the 12 rounds to get it right. But he come up against someone who has been bred to fight, like Tyson Fury. Is a whole different animal. Anyone looking at me in interviews, I've always been a big Tyson Fury fan, because a big man should not be able to move and do and think and execute the way Tyson Fury does. And I even said it to him when I first met him. He was like, "Hey, Dean, what are you doing here? You know, like, you trying to negotiate for your bro?" And I said, "Listen, no, I'm a fan of boxing, B. I just go to the shows and do what I'm doing." And then we started chatting, and I said, "Listen, man, if you go back and look at my thing, I've always bigged you up, because, like I said, someone 6'9" moving as good and as sharp and as you know what I mean, and he's not afraid to try stuff. You know what I mean? Some of the stuff." Even when he got dropped by Cunningham, he was doing things in there. That's why he got caught. Even when one of the fights he uppercutted himself, he was practicing stuff and trying stuff. But he come from the clown and the jester to become the king. So it's quite, you know, in that learning process, he managed to put stuff into practice, and look where he is now. He went to Germany. I was there also, because we was in that Klitschko camp. I was ringside. I watched him go and overthrow my man, and then he went to America. I was over there also in Vegas, and he went and overthrown someone who was claimed to be the next king. So I think he's got a long, long way, Deontay Wilder, to even thinking of beating someone of the class of him. But I get what you're saying. He has a tendency to have habits of going off the wagon, Tyson Fury, in times, you know, putting on weight, drinking and doing this and doing that. But I mean, right now he's in a good place. I can't see it happening, but it is a potential, because bad habits are hard to lose. And change of, you know, him doing stuff, you know what I mean? He's like a man who likes to drink and do his thing. Hopefully he keeps his focus and does it, but it's granted. I see one big old B like that, you know. I was like, yo. Hey, my eyes was wide. I was about to fly out of this house, you know. No, we ain't got no place for you here, buddy. But back to him. Yeah, back to him. It's interesting. I'd like to see Deontay Wilder go, you know, look at himself in the mirror and say to himself, "Yo, buddy, listen, we need to change something." And I'm going to go out there, like you say, Teddy Atlas is someone. He's got many different, what's the word I'm looking for? Analogies on how he says it. You're a fireman. Go out there and put the fire out. You know, like, he's always great at that and raising people's tempo to go out there and deliver. So he is someone that will just tell you as it is. If you don't like it, that's your beef. The truth often hurts, they say. So that is your problem, no one else's. So, you know, it will be interesting to see. There's a few other American guys who come from that that teacher school role. I can't remember their names. There was a guy named Muhammad something.
Nassim Muhammad.
Yeah, I think that might be one of the guys who's an old school like teacher kind of guy as well. So I don't know. There's many little guys who's out there, but it's down to him and his team. He seems to have about 3 or 4 coaches already. But yet again, I don't know if he respects them enough to listen. And once you lose that respect for your trainer, it's, you know, it's the end of the road. You know what I mean? This is a time. I know some people want to blame trainers for things. It's not about blaming. It's about looking at yourself and saying, listen, if I want to become the best again and become number one, I need to go back to the basics. Who can I get in that ain't going to listen to none of my thing, and I'm going to respect them and have that respect to listen? And he's got to find that person.